This is about to get a whole lot crazier based on what we're going to talk about today, but we wouldn't be doing this without all the work you guys have put in. So, big round of applause before we get started. This is new to you. Welcome to a whole lot of fun, and it's going to get really crazy next term. And I understand as well, a shout out is in order for one particular team, so we're just going to get through that right away. I understand one specific group is 18-0 on the season. Did I hear that wrong? I don't know, who was that? Was that Nick? Is that Smash? Oh, is it you guys? Are you guys 18-0? Okay, alright. Yeah, it's like 7 out of 10. Keep it up, you know. Doing alright. Just to get you guys acquainted, we have 4 executives who are operating the team. So myself, Jeff, I'm the director for the all work. I'm here as much as I can be. Just right now I'm completing my master's, so I'm here for usually 1 day a week. And as a result, I'm going to be hard to get a hold of outside of Discord. Now, that's all to say, we have 3 people who are working their arse off to make sure this happens and are doing an amazing job. We have, first off, is it Jack is up next? Yeah. Who's up next? Alright, we have the esports mom. We got Jackie. Facebook mom. Do you want to take a second to talk about yourself?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, I was on the executive for a team called UIU, so I was helping running the FGC side of things, so I oversaw player management, coaching reports, sponsorship. I ran the whole thing. I was on the executive. So that's my background. Oh, I also commentate. I'm a Street Fighter commentator, so I worked at Capcom on the Capcom Pro Tour, commentated Injustice 2. I was on the Injustice Pro Tour and Mortal Kombat. So I have an FGC background, and I'm not good at email and a little bit of a boomer, so I'm a Facebook mom. So I look young, but I'm in my 30s, I moisturize, and so I had David set up my Apple Pay, so sometimes I have those moments with you. Just be gentle. Thank you.
Let's go, Kevin. Let's
go, So I believe I met a good number of you. Not everyone though. So I'm essentially your go-to person, the person right below Jeff and Jackie. I'm in constant communication with all your team staff. I'm also going to be managing you guys on a day-to-day basis, essentially. Yeah.
Hey guys, so sometimes you know when you do something really cool but no one's around to see it, so no one saw how cool you were. Sometimes you're doing a game, you pull off a sick pentakill, you ace someone clean or something like that, you turn around to 1v5, no one saw it. If you send me things, I'll make sure that people see it.
Hi, I'm Monica. I basically just got on the team yesterday, so I'm very, very new. It's nice to meet you all. I'm currently in the bachelor's program for public relations at Humber Lakeshore, and I'm in first year. I'm actually 22, but I'm in first year, so yeah. So I'm still learning all about PR, but I really want to get involved in esports. Very passionate about it. So as I mentioned in the welcome in Discord, but yeah. So I will be running like social media, helping with event planning. And so all the stuff that Norm creates, I will be posting. So yeah, that's it.
Hey guys, I'm Graham Porter. I'm the assistant melee coach, and I play melee.
Hello, I'm Samuel Nicholas. I'm the coach behind the melee team. I play Marth. I'm also familiar with League of Legends, and I just love fighting games.
Hey guys, I'm Connor. I'm the assistant coach for the Rainbow Six team. I play Rainbow.
Hey guys, I'm the primary coach for Rainbow Six for A team. We got A stuck, but no, it's alright.
Hi, my name is Nicholas. I'm one of the coaches for the Shadowverse team. And yeah.
My name is Vivek Nath, coach for the Smash Ultimate team. And I don't know if you know this, but I play Smash Ultimate.
Hey guys, I'm Michael, and I'm the assistant coach for the Smash Ultimate team.
I'm Dante. There wasn't really a coach last year, but him and myself took over the lead for coach last year.
My name's Dylan. I was the actual coach for Humber Con, not this guy. So, yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Noah, and I'm the head coach for the Humber Counter-Strike team.
Hey guys, I'm Ben, and I'm the assistant coach for the Counter-Strike team.
I'm Jethro, and I'm the assistant coach for League of Legends A team.
I'm Bruno, and I'm the new assistant coach for the League of Legends B team.
I'm Eric. I run League. Our coach doesn't go to Humber, so I just our coach on paper.
B team, more specifically the head for black and assistant for blue.
So in the event where you guys need any help or assistance, or you're confused about who to talk to for teams, these are the people that you want to talk to before other players. They're the people who will then come forward to talk to either Kevin, Jackie, David, or myself in the case where you need anything. Sound good? Say yes? Yes. Excellent. Thank you guys, and grab your seats again. Kind of related to a few things we're going to be talking about right now, but at the end of the day, we talked about gear, we talked about all these things that are possible. Some of the stuff that you guys, to make sure, especially for the new players, we call this orientation. So for the new players, less the coaches, welcome. You guys are entitled to a bunch of support as part of this organization. What we're trying to do, the aspiration of what this is ideally, we are building a framework, not just for varsity competitive esports here at Humber, but to create a standard and a beacon for other schools who also want to build competitive varsity programs. As a result, we want you guys to compete. We want you guys to win.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. We want you guys to win. We want you guys to compete. We want you to do it with decorum and professionalism, which Kevin will talk about in a few minutes. But in kind, we also want you guys to be treated the right way. So we're going to be making sure over the coming months that you guys get things like access to the dojo, to the CTI gaming room, access to when you want to do events or bring in teams for sprints to be able to facilitate that. Now here's the thing. If we're going to be making all these systems available, all this tech, all of this, obviously we're expecting you guys to be professional. And in our first year, we were very lucky that all of the people who played in the first year acted with immeasurable professional conduct and overall held an amazing standard. I'm genuinely so proud of everybody who was involved in this in the first year, and I'm really glad most of them are back as coaches, assistant coaches, or players to guide the new people as well. But I want to make sure, year over year, when people leave, that we maintain that conduct standard, and that people comport themselves, and we create a legacy of professionals who will continue, honestly, forever.
This list you're seeing is from Rise in Esports. All of those individuals are volunteers, and no, that's not their full team. We are very different from that, as you can see here, and a couple right in front of us. So if anyone does want to participate and help us on the backside, if you will, so not being part of the teams, or I should say around the teams, by all means, come and talk to us. We've got plenty of things for you guys to do.
Getting an idea of what, if you want to go into the real world and play professional esports, what that's going to be like. This comes down to a few things. More than anything, the reporting, as much as y'all might not like it, gets way worse when you get into the real world. At any major or super major, what you need to do is give as much warning as possible to Kevin and the rest of the team so that we can arrange to have that done. Because I'll be having a conversation with the executives so we can get that fee covered. So the more warning, the better. But in most cases, what will probably happen is I'll just say, heck with it, and we'll get it covered no matter what.
If you as players would like to get in tournaments that your coaches haven't already looked at, tell them, and hopefully they update their forms.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this is a system, and this is a world that is very undefined. All this is going to come down to one simple thing. Remember how I said that I want to create a standard for varsity esports, and I want you guys to be able to set that standard? The idea of being on a Canadian esports team at a college level is a valueless term because it hasn't been defined yet. It is a valueless term because you guys have not yet decided or shown what esports is worth. It's up to you guys and your conduct to prove how good being a part of a varsity esports team is. No matter what you want to do, you get to define the value of esports. Is it for you guys to mess around? Or is it handled at the same level that college level basketball, football, and every other sport is treated? And a great sign that you know how to manage yourself, how to set improvement goals, and how to compete. That's going to be up for you guys to decide, but if you do it right, you're going to gain all these values and a killer addition to your resumes that shows currency, that shows you know what's new in the world, that shows that you're interested and passionate and driven.
Wait a minute. This is the statement of commitment, which you all should have done. I don't believe I'm missing it from anyone. So, in short, in number 1 is talking about the values and what it means to be part of this. The big thing is that at the end of the day, you're still in school. You understand that? You guys have paid to come here to learn. We're trying to meet that as part of Humber Esports, that you guys actually do learn stuff as part of your teams. Again, based off what Jeff said, that you guys actually learn to build skills, foundations, that you can turn this into a career if you so choose to once you graduate. None of you are guaranteed in any solid way to be here and stay here. If you fail to meet up to your teams, meet up to your commitments and obligations as part of being a team, as part of being professionals, you will be removed. As members of the teams, you are doing more than just playing a game. There are things like this, for example, town halls, meetings. You're doing paperwork as well. That all falls into your responsibilities. If you cannot keep up with this, the first thing, of course, is give us reasons. We're not here to just throw you out the moment you can't keep up. We actually want to work with you guys. Just talk to us, talk to your staff. They can pass it on. Grades matter. We're keeping up with the school that you guys are students, and we try and meet that. So, our grade standing that we have for all of you is 70.
There's a lot of skepticism from a lot of people about this organization and about this enterprise. If we give you guys access to video games competitively and all of your grades tank, what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, and this whole thing gets shut down, party's over. However, if we give you guys access to this and this avenue to try stuff and your grades go up, what do you think is going to happen?
Games are good.
Teams are amazing. We focus. Look at what happens when we give these guys agency over what they want to do and the professionals they want to be. They just get motivated and the grades explode. We got to triple the budget of this thing.
Your leagues that you, for the most part, be playing in will be collegiate. With that, it means that those leagues will also be looking at your grades. If you guys fall below a certain grade mark as set by each tournament or league, there's a possibility they might remove you and you can't play. So that's not even our action. So we try and make this space as inclusive as possible. That means you as players, as members of Humber Esports, are expected to actually uphold that and maintain a solid amount of dignity. Extremely mandatory and enforced at all times. If this one is broken at any moment, as told by your coaches, the consequence will be likely very severe. Understand that your posted statements anywhere online does matter. You guys, as sitting here as members of Humber Esports, are always representing Humber Esports. You're also representing yourselves and the school. Just because it might be in the DM that you think, hey, it's just one-to-one, you never know if the other person actually screenshots it and posts it online elsewhere. What that means, it'll come back not just to haunt you possibly, it'll also affect the school as well as representing how it represents our organization.
What we have here is fragile. It is incredibly delicate. Any amount of abuse, any failure to stay professional, anything that gets done online around hate speech or anything like that, we're done. We had a good ride, we got some cool shirts, it's great memories, some new friends. And esports at Humber is over.
Just be aware of what your language is when you're making such communications. So part of being on a team is that your data is tracked, to an extent, of course. It helps us keep track of how well you guys are doing. Either you're improving or you're declining.
And bear in mind, these reports are how I present this information to people like Guillermo, so that they understand what's happening when we're working on this stuff. It's an easy way for me to collate it all, put the whole thing together, put a top sheet on it, and show them and say, this is what's going on.
If for whatever reason we will be sharing it, we will definitely talk to you guys first. If that need arises, which as far as I can
We will never share this information without your consent.
Yeah, as far as I can tell right now, there is no need.
It's in fact completely against Humber internal policy. So not worth my job.
There we go. So these reports are bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, and that's what the periods that we'll be looking at for. We'll start with the player analysis as the shortest one. That's just looking on, again, scale 1 to 5 for all of it, of just how well you guys are doing. We're not looking at hard data for this right now. It's just a general idea of if you guys are holding steady, you guys are doing really well, or clearly that there's extreme issues you guys just can't play. That's where it becomes like what you guys are. For example, if you guys are, for whatever reason, constantly ill, but you're not doing anything about it, right? You're sick in bed 24/7 kind of deal, you mark as a 1. If you tell your coaches that, hey, I'm actually doing stretches regularly, not daily, but regularly, consistently, or going to the gym now and then, clearly that you're putting in work becomes a 5.
Really quickly, this is essentially a flare for coaches to let us know if problems are occurring. If a student is struggling from a grade perspective, if a student is struggling for any reason, this is a great place for the coach to quietly let us know without it involving the player or being like a whole thing. The idea is that all these criteria are your own personal assessments, and we're using them as a way for, if we see ones, we're going to reach out to you. And we're going to talk to you about it. We want to understand, because the whole point is that we're here to support you.
So this is a lot simpler than the coach reports. Like that is it. So mistake on here. I actually did it twice. So this is from the player side. Your own perspective separate from your coaches, and it helps double check, if you will, that things match up. This is really massive. I will not go over all of it. My thing that I want to point out is that you all actually have access to this. I expect that all of you will have, if not read through every single word. I understand it's very long. It is about 9 pages. Please skim it over, especially the main number of points rather than every single smaller one. On the website, when you all fill out your application, before you before you hit submit, there's a text block there. That is the accord. Again, it's an extended version of your varsity agreement. Just talk about what's good, what's bad, what you're expected to do, that kind of stuff.
I again want to stress this. This is a space which is very commonly known. I'm sure one of you has heard the term Gamergate in your lives. This is a place and a space that is very commonly filled with hatred and vitriol, and I will not stand for it in this place. We are better than that, we have been better than that, and we will continue to be better than that. Many of the things in this accord, if they are violated, will be a sit-down conversation and we'll talk about it. Any effort made to make a peer or another player feel unwelcome, whether they're from our team or from another school's, will merit an immediate ban.
People don't like video games. You may not like to hear that, but that is the general reality of society as it is right now. If they have a reason to not give you guys money, as they're doing right now, they'll take it back and they'll shut it down. Not a problem for them. Will be a problem for you though. Well, all of us here. So, generally speaking, I am good to talk any time of day, really. You can either talk to me directly, or you can speak to your staff. That's probably the easiest, because for the most part you'll know your staff better. You'll probably be able to speak to them easiest, and then they can just reach out to me and pass it on. Next one is reaching out to Jackie. Do you want to say? Oh, I can add to that you guys can reach out to me about anything. I generally don't mind. I'll tell you if it's bad.
Alright, so I'm just gonna tell you, I've seen really dark sides of esports, okay? Like, I don't wanna explain the stuff that's gone on. So the best thing for transparency is only one form of communication. So if you talk to me, email me on the Humber email, or you can talk to me on Discord. The public Discord is better. Why? If you are contacting people on all different kinds of platforms, in your professional esports career, like I've literally been stabbed in the back where someone was like, show me where I said that. And I was like, oh my God, I talked to you on Slack, Asana, Cat Talk, Line. Like, there was like 7 different chat. I messaged the phone numbers. So they were like, find the message where I said that. And I was like, So good practice. All this esports org stuff, try to keep it in one spot, because later on there's going to be people in the workplace who are going to try to get you. But if your paperwork's good, they can't. That's why I love paperwork. So if everything's clear, everything's transparent, you will never have to worry about any conflicts of interest or any bad culture or anything that happens like that. So again, if you message me only on Discord or only my Humber email, that way if an issue comes up, we already know exactly where our communications are.
Similar vote overall, if you want to get a hold of me, is going to be public Discord, a DM if it's something that, like in the case where, given my position, if there's something you are concerned about, this especially goes for coaches dealing with player problems or anything they're concerned about, you've been reached out to by a potential sponsor or anything like that, Discord message is ideal, or the email. I'll warn you, my email is also getting all of my stuff for classes, so it's going to be slower for me to respond to emails than Discord in general. It's very important in the case where there's any problem. If there's any issue with tech, hardware breakages, you know what the worst thing in the world is? A surprise. Tell us immediately. If you're at all concerned, if you're worried, if you're just not sure if it's even a problem, it would be my pleasure to reassure you that it is fine. But talk to me if you're at all concerned about anything, or talk to the relevant or appropriate people. Sound good? Say yes?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm a full-time student. I'm here every day, essentially all day compared to the other 3. So, usually speaking, I'll be able to be the first one to just respond to you guys. Second is part of the communication side. You may be reached out to by faculty or outside or whatever. You don't have to handle that. There's a reason why your staff is here, there's a reason why we're here.
You are not to talk to them about it at all. If a faculty member from another school wants to set up arrangements, tournaments, things like that, you are not qualified or authorized to arrange that. Send them to Kevin, or to David, or to Jackie, or to me, and we'll get it arranged for you guys. Especially in the case where it's around usage of rooms like the dojo or the CTI gaming space. Those are specifically for you guys. And in the case where there's any external or specialized usage, that's a talk to us situation. With the dojo and the CTI space, all it's come down to in terms of, and also concerns about, like, mostly in the CTI space, for those of you who play on PC, there's been a lot of worries about security and staff coming over to inquire about playing on the machines. At the end of the day, they don't know who's on the teams because we've been doing tryouts, so they're being careful. Nobody's trying to scare you off, nobody's trying to make it difficult for you to use the machines. Fundamentally, all they're trying to do is just make sure that the people on the machines should be the people on the machines. Now that you guys have all finished your tryouts, minus you guys I know, but unless you guys have made a change on PC, right?
We'll see.
Okay, so I'll pass along the current roster of teams to the CTI staff. That will mean they know exactly who should be on those machines at any time. Now, they've also made a request, which is that any player who wants to drop in and play on the machines sends them an email to let them know. Now, given that that will probably, that's kind of a hassle, but is going to bury them in emails, I'll heavily encourage you to do so, and if that becomes a problem for them because their email's getting destroyed, then we'll work out another system.
One more request from the CTI admin staff, actually. When we do give them our rosters, there are times, especially with drop-ins, that they will ask you guys, like, your name, information, kind of deal. Please actually just cooperate with them, right?
Yeah.
If they ask you for your name or student number so they can check on the list that we provide them, just tell them your name.
What's the easiest way to guarantee that they know you're part of the esports teams? If you have a jersey, wear it. If you don't have a jersey, we're going to get it for you as quickly as possible. Read my previous comment regarding trying to find. Cool? Yeah, they're not monsters. You just have some very expensive computers there, and they want to make sure they don't get broken. Obviously, remember and be respectful of the space, because if something is broken and we have to replace it, that means that that machine is shut down for the duration of the replacement time. So this is not who cares? That means you're going to KO the space, so be nice. The second half is food or drink. They were very polite about it, but they were very explicit and very politely asked, no, actually, no food or drink at any esports gaming machine, period. In the CTI, there is an entire row of tables right beside the esports space. There's no reason that you just can't step away to take a bite of your food. Sealed containers containing water only. The final thing is logins. I know a lot of you have been asking about it. David is working on it. When your logins are ready, he will tell you. He knows, he's on it. And when they're ready, he'll let you know. Sound good? Say yes? Yes. But the head fashion designer for Toronto Defiant has approached us and said he wants to redesign our jerseys. So the terms of this obviously have to get sorted out, but this is very much everybody wants to make this happen, we just have to figure out how. So this means that I know some of you are going, I've been on the team for a week and a half, where's my jersey? This shit takes time. And it's going to take more time, but hopefully, I'm sending you the paperwork tonight, hopefully, we're going to be having a conversation about if this is feasible over the next few weeks. We have 2 partnerships that are going to be coming into the college in the next while that are academically research focused or industry research focused. For those, I would love to be able to organize volunteers. Well, for one of them, I should say. Monica Perez is a person involved with Humber. She's going to be doing research on burnout and player performance in esports. I would love to invite as many of you as are interested in providing feedback as possible. You do not need to be burned out to be part of this study. This is not a, why are you sad, study. This is genuinely, she wants to do academic research into how playing games affects your mental over time. The objective being to help you guys improve your mental over time. So, what I would ask is if any of the coaches can organize their whole team to be a part of this study, we'd like to get as many teams as possible. So, going into the winter term, we're going to be doing performance coaching for you guys. The organization Emote AI is very interested in doing full-on performance and mental health coaching with you guys. These are some of the resources we want to make available, including special educational platforms, special seminars, as well as coaching and mental health training. These guys work with professional teams, both in esports and regular sports. They would love to come in and spend time working with you guys and helping you guys with your performance and your competitive advantage. This stuff works. And so we'll be arranging a minimum of an assessment for every team. We're going to be making sure there are more public tournaments, Smash events, the Microsoft League of Legends thing we did last year that was so much fun, things like that, to allow more of the student body to participate. As a result, we can't keep up with events for Ignite and Athletics and anybody else who wants to do these. So we're going to be looking for you guys to come and help out. With those, however, we'd like, and we're working on trying to make those paid opportunities. 20, 50 bucks, gift cards, things like that for coming out to help. So we're going to be making more opportunities for you guys to get some kind of resources for helping out with this. Additionally, we're also going to be building a podcast. We had a meeting right before this with some members from the radio program. We're very interested in developing this kind of podcast system. So if you're at all interested, and I know some of you are, then let's definitely talk about that, because we're looking for volunteers, for people who want to lead or be a part of that show, either consistently or periodically throughout the show's lifetime. And I know certain people have been asking about this a lot. We're probably going to talk about them taking it on in a big way.